station, 1370 WOCA.
Ocala.
right, 6 minutes after 9 o'clock, it is time for In the Garden with Carol Ann. Carol Ann Baldwin is here. I'm looking forward to hearing an update on the tree that we had in the studio last week. Good morning, Carol Ann. How you doing?
Good morning, Larry. Real good, real good.
And just for the listeners' sake, if you want to call in, please call in. Don't worry about interrupting us. We want you to do that. The number is 622-9622. The earlier you call, the more time Carol Ann will have to address whatever question you might have.
Right.
So.
And your question might trigger somebody else's question.
That's right.
So, we might get a good...
So my question is, how did the tree
turn out?
Yeah.
The tree, if somebody wasn't listening last week, or you can always tune in and see what went on through YouTube.
Right.
One of our listeners, friend Kathy, she brought in a Cleveland pear that was root bound. Pretty well root bound. It was tough. The roots were circling around the tree. They had not come back around to what they call girdle the trunk, so they weren't real bad up at the surface or anything. These were more down further. And when you have something like that, that's one of those things. When you pull that plant out of that pot,
right,
and you're working those roots out, those roots that make complete circles all the way around the pots really are almost useless, especially if they happen to make a 90-degree turn. So I know we're going to talk about that today. I see the phones ringing,
yeah, and
let's go.
To the phone. We promised we would do the phone calls, so let's go to that one. Good morning. You're on the air with Carol Ann.
Hi, good morning.
Morning.
I have a lawn service that comes and does my lawn, sprays it about 4 or 5 times a year.
Okay.
But I was thinking my zoysia grass is looking a little puny, and I'd like to give it something else. I'm thinking about buying some granular and spreading it on the lawn myself. Could you recommend a fertilizer that would be good for zoysia?
Not if you have somebody that's already doing it.
Okay.
Not as a general fertilizer. The only thing you might do would be something like, say, a Milorganite. That you don't want to put a nitrogen-based fertilizer on, because that's what your company's doing. They are fertilizing the lawn. I would actually, before I bought anything, I might give them a call and ask, what are they using on your lawn, and go from there. But I do like Milorganite. I like another one that's it's called like a Super Iron Plus. It's iron and magnesium and manganese. There's no nitrogen in those, or in that. Even the Milorganite has some, but it's a very minor, very small amount. Or something like Black Cow put down on it. You're just looking for something almost on a neutral that's just going to kind of nourish the soil and maybe make some of those other nutrients available. But I would not go out and buy a turf fertilizer, a 1608 or anything like that. Don't hit up any of those.
I was wondering also if you could recommend an azalea that would be hardy enough to survive our summers. But I love azaleas, but a lot of them don't do well down here.
All of the azaleas that we have do well here, the Encores or the regulars, the Formosans. Are you in shade or in sun?
A little of both. Sun, really.
If it's
back is shady.
I was going to say, if it is predominantly shade with only morning sun, you can do the Formosa ones get quite large depending on the size you're looking for. That's more what you need to do, is find out where you want to put it, and what it's facing, what it's going to look at like as lighting throughout the day. If it's morning sunlight, you can, I call them more the old-fashioned, old-school ones like lavender formosa. There's a pink formosa. They're going to have a tag on them that's going to tell you shade or morning sunlight only. Your encore azaleas, those kind of azaleas, and I think red ruffle can take some sun. Those can take sun, but they'll benefit from a little bit of shade in the afternoon, but they can sure take 6 or 7 hours of sun easily.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Yep, you're welcome.
Very good. And the phone line is open if you want to call 622-9622.
Yeah, and to carry a little further on the azaleas, azaleas are pretty tough in this area. They're not, not an issue. Using an azalea camellia fertilizer, pruning when they're finished flowering. Just look at where you want to put it before you run out and buy one, and then read the tags that are attached with them to see the proper lighting, and then many of those will also tell you their mature size. So if you've got, say, a big, or a tree that you're going to put a big oak tree or around an oak tree or in the shadow of one, and you would like it to get big, it's maybe on the corner of a house, the old school Formosa azaleas are gorgeous because they will get 8 to 10 feet tall. You don't have to keep it at 10, but they get nice and big, nice and full, and just full of bloom. But if you're looking for something to put underneath the windows in the front of the house, you might be looking at a dwarf or an intermediate that's only going to get anywhere between maybe 3.5 feet tall to 4.5 feet tall as its mature size. So you're not constantly cutting on them. Why make yourself more work? That's my thing is, you don't want to have to keep going out there and cutting it to keep them looking neat.
I told you before we went on the air that we took a walk.
Right,
We went about 3 miles.
Yeah.
And it was really a beautiful day and a beautiful walk. And I was thinking, if you were gardening and just starting to garden, and the temperature, the way it is this past week has been so nice.
Oh, it's been gorgeous.
That you might say, oh gosh, why didn't I do this all my life?
Well, right.
Now, give it a couple of months, and
give it a couple of months. It's going to be hot. This is the time of year. And even still, this time of year, go out early when it's cool. It's much more comfortable. You can get quite a bit done, and you're introducing yourself, especially if maybe most of your life, if say maybe you're just newly retired, and you've spent a lot more of your time in an office, or maybe not quite as active of a job, or maybe you're even coming off, say, an injury or something that's kept you from being active. Here it's cool. You can get started, get yourself accustomed to the outdoor activities. And in the early morning, it's nice. It's generally quiet.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Oh,
just a great time to do.
I thought you had a phone call coming in. If I missed your phone call, call right now. I'm looking at the screen. 622-9622. I don't know if I accidentally clipped somebody off. I don't think I did.
But we were talking about the tree, and the root, having to root prune that tree. When those roots go around, oh, great, we got the caller back.
Yes. Good morning. You're on the air with Carol Ann.
Morning, how are you guys?
Good morning.
Something about azaleas. People put them up against their house. If it's a block house, those block houses leach lime, and azaleas don't really like lime.
Right.
So you shouldn't put them up against the house if you have a block house.
Yeah,
wow.
You want to step off anyway. But yeah, if it's a new house, if the house is, if it's an older home, you should be pretty good.
Okay. You guys have a great day.
All right, we'll talk to you.
So what do you mean, in like the cement block?
The cement block, actually even the foundation, because of the concrete. The concrete does leach lime into the soil, and azaleas are more acid-loving, an acid-loving plant. So if you've got them up near the house, and especially if it's a new home, say under 5 years, that can be an issue, that soil pH could be still off. So if you were contemplating that, you might want to check the pH ahead of time, and that way you'll know whether or not you're starting out in a good spot or a bad spot also.
Right. It sounds like we're up against the first break, so let's take that break and go to it. The phone number, if you'd like to call, is 622-9622. Carol Ann Baldwin's show is a full hour, which means there's 45 minutes left. Plenty of time to get your question in and get it answered by Carol Ann. Or maybe you don't have a question. Maybe you just want to say, hi, hey, my garden is looking pretty good. We'll take those calls as well, and we'll take a break and be right back after this.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Tuesday will be partly sunny and warm with a high of 81 near the coast, 88 well inland. Partly cloudy Tuesday night, low 61 inland, about 67 along the coast. For Wednesday and Thursday, intervals of clouds and sunshine with a shower and thunderstorm around during the afternoon and evening hours of each day. High Wednesday, 82 at the coast, 88 inland. Thursday's high, 81 at the coast, 87 inland. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Joe Lundberg.
Are you still fertilizing flowers and vegetables the old-fashioned way? Then switch to Dynamite Premium Plant Food. The secret to more flowers, bigger blooms, and more vegetables is consistent feeding. Dynamite Premium Plant Food is formulated for our Florida climate and has a unique coating that releases nutrition consistently, so there are no peaks and no valleys. Dynamite is just a terrific product. It even contains the micronutrients plants need in small quantities for maximum growth. With Dynamite, you get an explosion of color, flowers, and vegetables. Dynamite comes in a handy shake and feed plastic bottle. Just one application will last up to 6 months. For more flowers, bigger blooms, and more vegetables, try Dynamite Premium Plant Food today. Look for Dynamite at your Home Depot or Lowe's garden department. Visit on the web at dynamiteplantfood.com.
Robin, let's try a little plant trivia. Name this nursery. It's a not-for-profit, and it teaches growing and caring for plants to their students.
Oh, that's easy. Kenny's Place.
Or how about this one? It's a nursery conveniently located between Ocala and Bellevue.
Again, it's Kenny's Place.
Or how about this one? A nursery with a wide variety of just what you need or want at the most reasonable prices.
Kenny's Place, of course.
Kenny's Place at 7677 Southeast 41st Court. Give them a call at 867-1213. It's a caring place for people and plants. It's Kenny's Place.
Black cow, the mature manure black cow.
We often mention enriching your native soil with Black Cow when you prepare a flower bed or vegetable garden, or plant new shrubs and trees. Adding Black Cow helps retain moisture and adds millions of healthy microbes to your soil. Healthy soil means healthy plants, but you can also top dress with Black Cow composted cow manure even after planting. You can come back a month or two later and spread Black Cow on top of the soil around the root zone of a shrub or tree, or spread it evenly over a flower bed or rows of vegetables in your garden. Black Cow releases nutrients slowly. It won't burn tender roots because it's fully composted. Look for the bright yellow and black bag at your favorite nursery or garden center. And visit the website too at blackcow, spelled with a K.com.
Black cow, the mature manure black cow.
18 minutes after 9 o'clock, 64 degrees, by the way, here at the studios of The Source, and it looks like a nice day, partly cloudy, highs in the mid-80s, lows tonight in the lower 60s, and tomorrow a little bit of rain, so you can't complain about any of that, right?
No, sure can. It's gorgeous out.
Nice.
This is one of the reasons we all live here.
Nice April.
Yeah, you have this beautiful weather now, and you put up with the little bit of the heat in the summertime, but I don't complain about the heat because I hate the cold. I'll complain about the cold any day.
The biggest rose selling day is a month away or so, Mother's Day.
Yeah, Mother's Day.
More roses are sold for Mother's Day than any other day.
Valentine's.
More than Valentine's Day, yeah.
Yeah, well, because everybody buys their mom roses, and Valentine's.
Could be anything.
Yeah. That's the girlfriend or, fathers for their little daughters and things like that.
Right,
so not
right.
necessarily flowers, but
well, see, and so if you're a guy and you're married and your mother's still alive and you have children, then you're going to buy something for your wife because she's a mother, and you're going to buy something for your mother because she's a mother, and you're going to buy something for her mother if she's still alive, and your own mother.
right. You got to.
Did I say her already?
Yeah. If you got your mom and on those kind of things, right? It's it's one of those. Hallmark had fun with that one.
Yeah.
Hallmark and the FTD floors.
I haven't had roses outside my door in a while, but when I did, they were big, fluffy roses. And there was a young guy used to live across the street, and I used to say to him, "If you want any of these, you pick them. You give them to your wife. I don't need them."
Enjoy it. So your rose hasn't come out.
No, they haven't.
Haven't done anything.
They've been pretty,
pretty tired.
Yeah.
It probably needs
non-productive. I probably because I don't do anything.
Right. So they have to do it on their own, and that takes them a little bit longer to get.
Oh, really? So I could give. Is it too late to start? Like if I
no, you could get some. You can fertilize. This
what do
is
I
the
get?
growing season. Rose and flower fertilizer or a bag of black cow. Just roses. Roses love cow manure.
Okay.
They
maybe
really
I'll do that.
They and a few shovelfuls around around on the plant and just kind of rake it around.
Really
and
cheap too. That black cow.
I mean it's about a little less than $5 for a bag, but it's
a huge
bag. It's a big bag.
Yeah.
It's, and any and all plants like it. Your lawn likes it. It's not going to burn anything.
Maybe I'll get some.
You can do. It's a versatile soil amendment is what it's considered, and so it's just something good.
Maybe I'll do that. I won't put any near the bougainvillea because I don't want to help that thing.
That.
It's just too.
Poor bougainvillea.
I mean, the roses have thorns, but the bougainvillea have.
Roses are happier, and of course, and it's funny working with what I do. Working around roses is a lot better than working around, say, raspberry bushes, because the raspberries, the thorns are just all so close together. And when we're filling up tables, I told my new helper, I said, doing roses is simple. They may have thorns, but they don't really get you.
Right.
And when you're, maybe occasionally, a little bit of caution. But I said, but watch out around the raspberries. They will grab you and tear you.
Oh, those little tiny ones.
They just got thorns just all over the stems, and those are just kind of mean and vicious. Yeah. But I want to get back to that tree so that I can finish that thought.
Right.
On any time, when you're doing the trees, and I talk about it often, is that working those roots out. And with this one in particular, those roots were really they were not strangling roots, not yet. But they had gone around in that pot. And when you get a root that makes that perfect 90-degree turn, most of that root is useless. It actually does not make little fine roots along, doesn't make any feeder roots along. And a lot of the roots that I cut off of this one, because yes, I did prune roots off this tree. I couldn't exactly do it the way that normally they would recommend, because nowadays they recommend you take it out of the pot and you take a sharp shovel or a sharp machete or something, and you just take that round pot and make it square. Just shave off all of that stuff on the outside. Well, if I'd have done that, taking off those bigger roots, there would have been even less left on there than what I left. And after that, it's just going to be a lot of TLC. But I told her when she plants it, when she's going to need a couple extra hands to hold some of those roots out that I did leave.
Just so the dirt will keep them separated.
So that you can hold those out so that it'll begin to have some anchor and something to go from. And when planting it, make sure that no air pockets are left underneath because I remove dirt. I put the dirt back on, but when you take it out of the pot and some of that falls off, you want to make sure that no air pockets get left in. So when you're backfilling on top of there is watering it in as it's going. And even after you've done root pruning, you still plant it the same depth as what it was in the container.
I wonder how many people have purchased a tree, not knowing that you're supposed to spread out the roots, and ended up with a tree that didn't grow.
It's a lot actually happens. I mean, some of them will go ahead and they'll make it, or you may not. It may live for several years, and then you wonder what happened to it, and you don't really know, and you have somebody replace it, or you just cut it down and you replace it with a shrub, and nobody looks at what the roots look like 5 or 7 years after you planted it, and you're not even thinking about that. But there was a landscape here in Ocala that, oh gosh, I couldn't tell you how many years ago, was one of the, I think it was like Day of Caring or something, and as master gardeners, we helped a group from Forest High School redo the landscape around this building. And as we got going, what we were doing was giving some knowledge for the students. And they're digging out these old azalea bushes that were about the size of, maybe a basketball. Well, they'd been in the ground for 5 years.
Wow.
But as they dug them up, we were going, look at the roots. It looks like the same quart container that they came out of. All they had been done was an auger run and made the holes and taken out of the ground, out of the pots and plopped in the holes. Yeah. And they failed to thrive.
Do you know what I was watching? I was watching something on TV about Vikings. Now, this actually applies to gardening. these people looking for Vikings, okay?
Okay.
They could take the Google Earth imagery and look at the color of the grass.
Okay.
And speculate that there might be some remnants of
anything underneath it.
So they would go to these places and they would dig these, like, I don't know, maybe 10 foot by 10 foot square areas. And they would only go down maybe a foot, maybe not even that far. And they would show, like, the side. You could see the layers of whatever was
sediment and
it could have been just sod, or it could have been something. And they were saying that affects the grass on the surface.
Sure.
So, like where I live, for example, maybe there was some Indians living there at one time, and my grass is actually being affected by people who lived there hundreds of years ago.
Right. Well, because you don't know what's underneath there, and say there was a specific stone that was used in the building material, and whether or not just like the lime leaching from our buildings into the ground, it's going to affect what grows above it or what does not grow above it. We have a condition that can pop up in our lawns called fairy ring, and fairy ring, I had a loose hair. That was making me crazy. Is from organic material that's breaking down underground. So it could be
the
tree roots. Yeah.
Okay.
Could be tree roots that are from an old tree that was cut down. 5 years. Your house was built 10 years ago, and the tree was cut down, that year before. So those roots underneath there are rotting, and that's causing, it's an effect that happens years down the line.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? How it all connects. All right, we do have another phone call. Good morning. You're on the air with Carol Ann.
Yes, good morning, Carol Ann.
Morning.
Say with the Easter lily still in bloom, is it all right to transplant it outside now, or should I wait?
I'd wait till it was done blooming.
How long ago? How longer do you think that'll be?
What do you have? Are they all open?
Yeah.
Oh, you probably got just another week or so.
Another week. And planted them outside with sunshine, and should I add something to the soil?
I would put them in something that's got some good morning sun, but probably not a whole lot of huge hot afternoon sun. And sure, you can amend the soil if you've got some some garden mix around or some black cow.
Okay, very good. I got a nice spot on the east side of the house, which would be a morning sun, and then a shade the rest of the day, so that worked out pretty good.
Yeah, they should do nicely over there.
If I have more than one, how close or how far apart should they be planted?
I would put them, you may have more than one pot?
Yes.
I would probably just put them to, because if the pot's about 6 inches, I would put them to where say, if you set the pots next to each other, you could put them that close.
Okay, and then they'll just bloom again about April or March next year. Right?
It may actually be more like April or May. It may be actually a bit later. They are kind of forced in the nurseries to have them ready for Easter, so they will come up and bloom when they naturally would.
And they're kind of hardy in the wintertime with the cold weather.
Oh, yeah. For us, there's no issue that tuber will sit underground there. The plant top will die off, but that's okay. They'll pop back up. You'll walk out in the garden, be pulling weeds someday in next spring, and you go, oh, look, they're coming back up, and then you'll be ready to go.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So it just has to wait a couple of weeks, that's it.
Yeah, just wait a little while. Wait till those flowers are about faded out, and then go ahead and put them in the ground. I mean, he could get ready, for that. And those are like a little bulb underneath there, and just, plant them. And I would put them close together so that you get that effect. You get that, all the flowers, unless you had two spots.
Yeah. All through the neighborhood, you see people working and doing their little things, and it's kind of sweet to see people doing that,
Oh, yeah. Getting out there and playing in the dirt. I mean, it's gardening. It's great therapy, and if you do vegetables, you get tomatoes.
Yeah, and people are really creative when they don't have money. Yeah. Like, instead of going down to the stone store and spending $300 on stones, they go out to the beach, or they find stones out in the wild.
Right. Yeah, wild stones. Look at.
Well, in the you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know. You're using the native stuff that's around.
I was watching a lady in my neighborhood putting stuff together, and I could tell she got the rocks from probably the railroad bed.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, quite possibly. Yeah.
All right, we'll take a little break. We'll be right back. We've got a half hour left of In the Garden with Carol Ann. Please call. The number is 622-9622. We'd love to hear from you. We'll be right back.
News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. 2 men charged in the investigation into the terror attacks in Brussels.
The suspects identified only as Samail F. and Ibrahim F. They both face a number of charges, including terrorist murders. Prosecutors say they're suspected of links to the renting of a Brussels apartment, which it's thought served as a hideout for one of the suicide bombers, the man who attacked a subway station. All of the publicly identified suspects in the attacks are now either dead or captured.
Fox Radio, Simon Owen. The trial date for an Ohio man charged with plotting a U.S. attack pushed off till October, and the Zika virus causing another worry in the U.S.
Could be looking at some empty blood shelves or really sparse blood shelves coming in the summer months.
There with the South Texas Blood and Tissue Center. Fox News, we report. You decide.
When you've got a specific job to do, you bring in the specialist, the edger, the trimmer, the leaf blower, other tools that end with Good thing there's VP small engine fuel, now just $4.99 at Napa, with no mixing, no measuring, and no mess. $4.99 VP ready-to-use small engine fuel burns cleaner, so all your lawn equipment runs smoother, better, and other adjectives that end with That's Napa know-how. At participating Napa Auto Parts stores while supplies last. Offer expires 4/30/16.
It's me, the little voice in your stomach. And you know what time it is. Snack time. That means we need all-natural Alberto beef jerky. It's the delicious protein-packed snack that makes hunger a thing of the past. So listen to the little voice in your stomach and all those clocks telling you it's time to pick up some all-natural Alberto beef jerky. Alberto beef jerky. You get out what you put in.
Refers to Alberto's all-natural line of beef jerkies. Minimally processed, no artificial ingredients.
Hi, this is Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin, the host of In the Garden with Carol Ann. Let me tell you what I use to get away from fertilizing the old-fashioned way. I use Dynamite Premium Plant Food for my flowers and veggies. With its easy, earth-friendly, patented coating, there's no risk of over-fertilizing. Dynamite Premium Plant Food releases food for 6 months, so there are no highs or lows during the growing season. Dynamite Premium Plant Food contains nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, and micronutrients like copper, magnesium, iron, and zinc. This gives my plants explosions of bloom for both flowers and veggies. When I use Dynamite Premium Plant Food, I only have to use it once every 6 months and not worry about the nutrients washing out with heavy rains or irrigation. To learn more about the Dynamite family of products, go to DynamitePlantFood.com. Dynamite Premium Plant Food is so easy to use that you'll spend less time working in your garden and more time enjoying it.
Don't get caught without your daily source of senior deals. Pick up your copy of the Senior Voice newspaper. It's your source for schedule and events tailored to seniors, with information you need, like a list of free events in the area. We even have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company to you that fits your needs. And all we ask in return is that you tell them where you heard about them. For more information, call Tom's Picks, 352-804-1223. And pick up your copy of the Senior's Voice at most any business up and down the 200 corridor.
Now read Ocala Downtown Newspaper online.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new truck.
Yep, we can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too.
Well, as a matter of fact, join me, Matt Gibbs from Sunrise Automotive, every Tuesday at 10 for auto repair with personal care right here on The Source.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're OcalaForSale.com. Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge, undercutting, rust-proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
Putting the local back into radio. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. WOCA News. Variety. Information. Now. Keep your arms and legs on the inside at all times.
WOCA.
AM 1370.
96.3. 96.3.
We are The Source, WOCA.
25 minutes before 10 o'clock. Carol Ann Baldwin is here. Let's continue with In the Garden with Carol Ann. If you want to call, the number is 622-9622. We would love to hear from you.
Sure would. Do got a couple things to put on your calendar, and one is actually coming up next week. The 326 Community Market is having a spring festival. It's free, open to everybody. That's a Thursday, it's the 21st, 3 to 7. On the address is 1860 West Highway 326, sort of right there around the corner from 441 on 326. You'll see it when you get around there. There'll be plants, kids activities, farm animals, cooking demonstrations, herb IDs. So IDing your herbs.
Oh, really?
I guess face painting, prize drawings. There'll be music and karaoke. Just some, fun time from 3 to 7 on the 21st. Just a nice spring festival at the 326 Community Market.
The other day was, let's see, I don't remember what day it was, but it was National Straight from the Garden Day.
Oh.
And it was the day that you're supposed to celebrate the foods that you can eat.
That you eat straight from the garden?
Straight from the garden.
Right,
I was thinking, what ones does...
Oh, well, the other day I had fresh squash right out of my garden.
Just
had my first
picked
3.
it out, you didn't cook it or anything?
Well, no, I sauteed it up.
Okay.
Had pork chops and little.
Well, then if you're cooking it, then anything can be straight from the garden.
So long as you bought it from the garden and ate it. You didn't process, you didn't freeze it, or you ate it.
I was thinking like an apple. You can pick an apple, eat it.
You can eat strawberries straight from the garden. Your tomatoes. You can, if you like raw green beans, peas, any of those things.
So there's really nothing you can't.
Well, I wouldn't eat raw okra myself, but.
What about peanuts? Can you eat peanuts straight from?
Raw peanuts taste funny to me. I mean, I don't care for. I like boiled green peanuts.
And potatoes you need to cook too. You can't.
Don't ask my brother that. My brother eats.
Oh, he likes raw potatoes.
Yeah. Well, eats them like an apple with a little salt.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
And have you had this?
I don't like them like that. No.
Carrots you can do that way.
Carrots you can eat raw. Celery you can eat raw. People eat raw onion on their sandwich. I
love raw onion.
Or our onion sandwiches.
I love grilled onions too.
Grilled onions are very good. Caramelize the sugars in those. But I mean, there's
what happens?
A lot of stuff. You caramelize the sugars when you grill them. When they start to brown.
Is that what happens?
Yeah, it's sweet. Even you get the onion that when you cut it, it starts to make you tear.
Right.
But when you cook that strength comes out. Goes away, and moreover, the sugars that are in there, those natural sugars, come out, and so they're always good. Onions are good for
Today's National Grilled Cheese Day.
Grilled cheese day. Oh, maybe I'll have grilled cheese.
Maybe
for
I'll make
dinner
grilled
tonight.
cheese, grilled onions, tomatoes. So you don't like grilled onions?
I like grilled onions,
Bacon?
but not on a grilled cheese sandwich.
You don't like? Do you like bacon on a grilled cheese sandwich?
I like or ham, cheese, tomato, and jalapeno peppers.
And you have a phone call?
All right.
Good morning. You're on the air with Carol Ann.
Good morning, Carol Ann.
Morning, Sonny.
Morning. One of the big things I used to enjoy was pull them right out of the garden, wash them off a little bit. Was carrots and radishes.
Yeah.
And the string beans.
And string beans, yeah.
I like those better raw than anything else because they snapped.
Have nice crisp, nice crisp taste, yeah.
Yeah. I also have a question, and that is, seem to have an awful lot of grasshoppers, and I've hit these guys with bug killer and everything else, and it doesn't seem to bother them. I'm just wondering what's going to happen here.
Are they the black ones?
No, they're like a design on their bodies or the
okay, the ones that get real big, the lubber grasshoppers. Yeah, once they're large like that, there's not much you can spray on them that would kill them. It may kill them, but it takes a while because they have such a tough exoskeleton, that shell that's on them. Most of the insecticides don't penetrate them. If you can see them, if you can catch them with your clippers, or I know people who just twist them in half.
Oh man.
You almost have to manually kill those large ones. When they're small, you can, most of any of the insecticides that you're using on your ornamental plants will take care of them. But if you have amaryllis, agapanthus, daylilies, anything that are those strap-type leaves, crinums, those grasshoppers just love them, and they will devour them, especially when they're larger. But if you come out early in the morning when it's still cool out, you can find them. They're a lot slower, so you can more easily catch them. And little ones, you could throw them in a jug of soapy water. Even the big ones, you could probably throw in a jug with some soapy water and just put a lid on so they don't hop out. But and do them in that way.
Right. Well, I'm not that fast, so they seem to elude me very well.
Yeah, I have the problem with the big ones of being able to reach over and grab them. If I have gloves on, I've gotten better. It's one, most people are afraid of spiders and cockroaches. No, my problem is grasshoppers, is the big leather grasshopper. Those guys and me have a little issue.
I can't even really get near them that much unless they have one of those butterfly nets or something.
Right. Well, and even... Yeah, that's swing a net at them and grab them. If you only have a couple of them, you're doing okay. If you think if you've got such a population of them and you can't hand remove them, try to find something that's got. I think it was the cyfluthrin that was actually killing them. The beta cyfluthrin. It's in like the. It's in the Bear Complete. It's in their vegetable and garden spray that hooks. They have one that hooks to a hose. I'm not sure some of the other sprays, if they have a stronger spray mix, you might be trying that on them. But they are harder to kill because of that tough outer shell on them.
I stepped on one, and boy, I tell you, you thought I was stepping on a rock there until I could actually hear the skeleton giving way.
Right. I'm surprised you didn't push back and try to throw you off. I mean, they are tough. And even then, you got to make sure that he's squished.
Either the birds or any other critters.
Not too much, right? Not too much will mess with them. I mean, the coloration, they are the yellows and orange and red. I mean, they're very colorful, which normally signals to predators that, hey, I don't taste good, for one thing, or that kind of thing, or I'm going to make you sick. So many animals just leave them alone. So, it's one of those things that they don't have, I don't think, too many natural predators.
Well, I assume once they hatch larvae and all that in your grass, because that's where they mostly are. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the morning I went walking in the lawn, and just a cloud of these things took off.
Right. You may want to come through if you haven't done any lawn pesticide. I mean, if it's something that that you use, that you're not looking for an organic method on getting rid of them, you might come through with a liquid insecticide early in the morning or even in the late evening, that late after 7 o'clock in the evening is going ahead and doing one that would be on a hose end that would really get down in there and doing all your pesticides either after 7 p.m., which it's still bright out. I mean, we still have the sun up until like 7:30, 8 o'clock now. And before 7 o'clock in the morning. It's still a little dark around 6:30, but you could do it then. It would be dry, so it's not becomes a problem with your other insects that are beneficials that come out during the daylight hours.
All righty. Well, thank you again for the information, and thank you, WOCA, for the programming.
There you go. Thank you, Sonny.
Thank you. Okay.
Good to hear from you.
Yeah.
We're up against the next break.
Sure.
Wow, it went fast today, didn't it?
Yeah.
We've got a good 15 minutes left in the show, so we would love to hear from you. If you want to call in, this is a good time to call in. Either that or wait through the break, and we'll be glad to take your call. Otherwise, you can wait on hold.
That's it.
So only a little break. We got weather and Black Cow commercial and Ocala's Got Talent, and then we'll be back. So we'll be right back. 622-9622 if you'd like to call. This is The Source, WOCA.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Tuesday will be partly sunny and warm with a high of 81 near the coast, 88 well inland. Partly cloudy Tuesday night, low 61 inland, about 67 along the coast. For Wednesday and Thursday, intervals of clouds and sunshine with a shower and thunderstorm around during the afternoon and evening hours of each day. High Wednesday, 82 at the coast, 88 inland. Thursday's high, 81 at the coast, 87 inland. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Joe Lundberg.
Black Cow composted cow manure is a terrific organic soil amendment. We start with cow manure from dairy farms and then compost it a full 90 days. The result is an all-natural, dark, rich soil amendment that's great for everything you grow. Flowers, vegetables, shrubs, trees, and lawns too. Look for Black Cow in the bright yellow and black bag at your favorite nursery or garden center.
Black Cow, the mature manure. Black Cow.
Yes, it's the third annual Ocala's Got Talent with semifinals May 7th and finals May 21st. But you still have time to shine and audition for a slot in the running for your shot in Ocala's Got Talent. Call 595-7100. First place $1,000, second place $500, and third place $250. Audition fee is just $25 and spectators fee is $5. This helps the Heart of Florida Youth Ranch. Call 595-7100 for your chance to shine. Yes, Ocala's Got Talent.
Hi, I'm Leah Caruso with Strive Rehabilitation, inviting you to join me Thursday at 11 a.m. for Health Matters. Ocala Health and Strive have teamed up to bring you the latest information on good health services available to you right here at home. This vital information will help you make informed decisions about your health. So don't forget to join me here at 11 a.m. Thursday. It's news you can use from Ocala Health, Strive, and your friends here at WOCA.
All right, thank you. It's 9:46, and let's return to Carol Ann Baldwin in the garden with Carol Ann. And it's a nice day to be out in the garden, isn't it?
It's a gorgeous day out there. Yeah, it's just a perfect kind of day to just get out there and have a good time in the garden.
I said this morning, this is the day you want to play hooky.
Yes, yeah.
If you can play hooky.
See, and I'm off today, so that's
so
a
you
nice
can
thing.
play hooky.
I'm not playing hooky. I'm off. That's my day.
You're here.
Yeah, I'm here, and I got all kinds of other things to do today, so I'm going to be out and running around. But another thing to put on your calendar, the Marion County Master Gardener's Spring Plant Sale is Saturday, May the 7th. So you've got a couple of weeks to go. Put it on your calendar. It's from 8 to noon, and you know you really got to get there early to find the best selection.
Mother's Day?
I guess it is.
I think Mother's Day is May 8th, right?
Could be.
I think so.
I believe it is. But it's from 8 to noon, and they have fruit trees, ornamental trees, shade trees, shrubs, native plants, herbs and perennials, pollinators, butterfly plants, hummingbird plants, sorrel, this sorrel is the one that you make the sorrel tea. It's in the hibiscus family, although the sorrel, the hibiscus, they're all kind of interrelated, very similar tree. It's like an annual bush, but it actually grows from seed up to a 3-foot tall shrub in 1 year, and you're harvesting harvesting the flower calyxes and using those. You steep those up and add ginger and honey and cinnamon and things like that. Make a nice tea. You can make an adult version if you add some rum or something to it, or you can just keep it as a family-friendly version and just sweeten it up with some honey.
You have a phone call?
Great.
Good morning. You're on the air with Carol Ann.
Hi, Carol Ann.
Hey.
Yeah, I have a nice closed-in patio, and I'd like to plant a staghorn fern out there.
Okay.
I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about how to grow them and what the best way to take care of them is.
Oh, okay. Okay, so a staghorn on a patio. Realize they will eventually get big. They don't get big, immediately, but they kind of wrap when you plant them. I'd start out with you can either start out and put them right onto a live oak log. Get you a piece that's got a pretty nice size. I'd say about 6 inches across, and a foot and a half, 2 feet long, put you a couple eye bolts in the middle and something to hang it from. You could start them out right on something that big. You don't have to, and you just need to use some sphagnum, because you could even mount it on a board, however you want to mount them, however many pieces you may have in your possession. If you divided one, if somebody gave you some, I'm not sure. But some moist sphagnum put in behind that, I believe the proper term is the hood there that wraps, usually how you see where they wrap around what they're on, and they anchor to that, and just need to gently wire that onto whatever surface that you're going to mount it on. They do like just filtered light, no direct hot sun on them. Spray misting them or just hose them down occasionally. If it's going to be inside, you will need to be misting them to try to figure out how to water them. They do need to be moistened every so often, and when they're inside, if it's little enough, you can carry it outside, take the garden hose, or run it outside when we get a nice rain shower, and let the rain water it, because we all know rainwater's got a little better nutritional value than plain old tap water does. And staghorns do like bananas and banana peels, so a lot of folks, when they start getting bigger, they'll just they'll finish a banana and chop a peel up and throw it right in the middle of it and just let it rot. You might actually just take a banana peel and run it through a blender with some water, and then water it with that occasionally as a feeding, because they're not big, heavy feeders, and they don't take a lot of care. It's just getting them mounted, and then over time they just keep getting larger and larger, and they'll cover an area and get very, very heavy, but that can take anywhere between 10 years before they're really starting to struggle to be able to move them, up to, I know there was one, someone I know had one that was probably about 30 years old, and I think they had to pick it up with like the front of the tractor or something to grab the chain to lift it. It was just that heavy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, well, it just had gotten huge. I don't know.
So when you're putting them on the board, do you use like a hardware cloth to hold them in place, or what would you use?
No, I would just probably
wire them.
Just wire them. Just use a florist wire, and it's going to attach itself to that board all on its own after a while. You just need to help it hold on there until it does.
Okay.
Just use something. Don't use anything pressure treated, obviously, or anything that's going to rot too quickly, or you'll be transplanting it. If it's just plain old pine, it's going to rot pretty quick. But for some reason, oak, they seem to do real well on the oak. Or you might try something like a cedar board or something like that if you're going to put it on a board.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, they're kind of fun. They're not always easy to find, but sometimes you'll find them where somebody is taking either maybe there's fell, because you'll find them, they'll be hanging from trees with chains from trees, and then in the wintertime you'll see the blankets and everything hanging in the tree because it's too big now to move, that you can't carry that back in the house because they don't like the cold weather. They really, below about 40 degrees, they're not real happy with it, but they'll do okay. You don't have to move them at 40, but below like 32, I'd be seriously covering and trying to protect them. I've seen some where they've constructed almost like an A-frame, like from a swing set, but a small version, but with large caster wheels on the bottom where they can move it, roll it up under the carport or into the garage or greenhouse, just because it was that large of a staghorn fern. And I mean, they're real pretty, real interesting, just kind of a unique garden fixture, or as he's going to do it, a covered porch. Makes a nice addition.
Yeah. So does the fertilizer make them grow more, or just more
healthy? More healthy. I mean, they will encourage them to grow more, because if something is healthy, it's going to grow more. So it's just it's a matter of what type of fertilizers we use with anything. If you use a high nitrogen fertilizer on trees and shrubs and lawn, you get a lot of top growth, but not necessarily a lot of root growth. When it comes to lawns, you end up doing a lot of mowing.
So when you say that it's like a plant needs more acid in the soil, if you were to take like orange peels or something, and put, like oranges are considered citric acid, right?
Right, but it's
but it doesn't do the same thing.
It doesn't necessarily do the same thing. Coffee grounds sort of acidify. Your tea bags kind of acidify. They actually have a product on the market that they call a soil acidifier, or adding a sulfur to it. That will change your pH to where it can more readily take up the nutrition that's either already available or that you're providing. If your soil pH is off, this is one reason why we check pH. If your soil pH is off too dramatically, one direction or the other from what the requirements of the plants are, the plant just will not thrive. It'll be stagnant or begin to decline. It won't bloom. The coloration will be off. It won't grow. And so if you can adjust that pH back to where it belongs, suddenly, boom, it pops. It's got good color. It blooms. It grows. It fills in. And so that's something to look at if you have a problem with a plant that either was doing well before. You look at what changed over the course of a couple of years, even if a plant is beginning to decline or such like that, or say you planted azaleas near the foundation of the home and they're just not doing well, and you're the one who planted them and you know that you worked the roots out, you might check your pH and you can correct that. It might be something you need to do annually with that, but it is something that you can keep an eye on and check.
You reminded us that it was Mother's Day pretty soon, coming up May 8th. I checked it, by the way. And I have a $20 gift certificate, and I'd like to give it away. This is to Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens and Nursery.
Wonderful.
And you can use this for, $20 worth of plants.
Plant material, that's right.
So you wouldn't use this for
for mulch or fertilizer or anything like that.
So Bob Wine's, $20, and all you have to do is be somebody. I'm going to narrow this down. You have to have a mother or have had a mother sometime in your life. If you've ever had a mother, then you qualify.
Okay.
And all you have to do is tell me, I've had a mother.
Yeah.
And you can have this $20 gift certificate and maybe buy something for your mom.
There you go. Or if you are a mom and maybe your mom's not here anymore, you can buy yourself something for you.
There you go.
And say it's from your mom.
There you go. $20. It's up for grabs. All you got to do is call 622-9622. No questions to ask. You just have to tell me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had a mom in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Have you ever had somebody in your life who you considered a second mom, and maybe she was your mother-in-law, or maybe she was just a friend's mother or something?
No, but I will have to say my mom was like everybody's mom.
Your mom was everybody's second mom.
My mom, was the one. Our house was the one when we were kids that everybody came and hung out at.
Yeah, really?
So it was,
Are you that way too?
Not so. We were a little off the beaten path. My daughter's a little more introverted, so was, not quite as.
I think Robin is that way. I think Robin.
She had a few. She had a couple of close friends. I mean, right now, I guess I'm the cool mom. Even though my daughter is now 30 plus. But her friends and such like that think I'm the cool mom out of all their moms.
I think you're the cool mom too.
Yeah. So out of all their moms, I guess I rate up there pretty high. So I'm happy about that.
Good morning. Do you have or have you ever had a mom?
Yes, so one time I did have a mother.
And what is your first name?
It's Richard.
Richard, do you know where we are?
Yes, sir.
Well, this $20 is waiting for you right here.
Sounds great. Look forward to it.
All right, you got it.
Great. You're welcome. Yeah, enjoy the Bob Wine's gift certificate, and you can buy yourself some azaleas or some camellias or anything that's going to plant out in the garden. Just no soils, no amendments, no fertilizer, no mulch. Strictly plant material.
There you go. Every week when you talk, I think I'm going to start doing this.
Yeah.
I don't know when I'm going to actually do it. One day I'll actually do it and you'll fall over.
Oh, that you'll plant the garden?
I'm actually doing it, yeah.
Well, we'll get you a garden. I'll have to see if I can't get a hold of some more of those those other ones, and we'll get you a garden going.
It goes fast every Tuesday.
It sure does.
Carol, you be careful out there.
Oh, yeah. Everybody have a great gardening day.
Yes. All right, we'll take a little break, and we're going to learn about cars next. Cars are cars all over the world. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. In the race for president, a new poll out showing some Americans are not happy with their choices. Bernie Sanders, though, apparently more likable than the rest.
According to a new AP GFK poll, his positive numbers are at 48%, the best in the field. And unlike the others, he's doing better as more Americans get to know him.
Fox Radio's Tanya J. Powers. Frontrunner Donald Trump, meanwhile, talking about who he likes as vice president. Among them, Marco Rubio and John Kasich, who tells Maria Bartiromo on the Fox Business Network.
There's a better chance of my being your running mate than Trump's running mate. There is a 0 chance I will be anybody's running mate.